Exodus 35:29 says, "The Israelites, all men and women whose heart moved them to bring material for all the work which the Lord had commanded through Moses to be done, brought a freewill offering to the Lord." Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is Exodus 35:10 through 35, and I encourage you to read that passage. Verse 21 as well as verse 29 are meaningful verses for everyone who wishes to have an example to live by. These men and women of Israel were so touched by God because they were listening that they were willing to give over and above anything that they might sacrifice so that God might have a place to be with the people and to live there. Exodus 25:8. They desired a place that they might worship, and the desired it might be also as beautiful. Before I married my wife, the Bishop of Athens required that I sit with the priest for about 4 hours per day over a period of 2 weeks. If I did that, he said he would permit me to marry. During that time, I really tried every argument I could use against the ornate beauty that's found in Orthodox churches. I used to give the argument, give it to the poor argument, or I used the church is greedy argument. I even used the argument that God didn't need such beauty. He could be worshipped in a barn if he wanted to. The priest must have been a saint, frankly, to put up with such a 22-year-old. Well, if you look at the argument that Zwingli used in the 16th century to argue against the beauty of the Catholic Church, you would see that my argument, that was about 500 years later, was based on his argument. And frankly, those arguments are not borne out by Scripture. Both the tabernacle and the temple, Solomon's and Herod's, were incredibly beautiful. They were a testament to the beauty that God has surrounded us with. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all change our churches and have icons, golden lampstands, and all sorts of other ornate things in our churches. But I am suggesting that there is nothing wrong with bringing beauty into the church as long as it's used as a vehicle to come closer to God. Beauty for the sake of idolatry is idolatry. Beauty for the sake of worship can bring a person to a relationship with God that is new and intense. We need to be constantly evaluating what we do and why we do it in our worship. That's not to say that we need something new, far from it. It is to say that we must know why and how we worship.